Okay, so let's unpack this. We're looking at a stack of sources today that is, frankly, a little unhinged.
That is putting it mildly.
We have court transcripts, a leaked corporate memo, and then this sprawling 40-page manifesto from a man named Bill Lever.
It is a wild ride. It starts as a story about, brand loyalty, but it spirals so fast.
It really does. It becomes this case study on the psychological breaking point where a consumer just snaps.
And the whole thing is centered on a deodorant scent.
Cool Wave. For Bill, this wasn't just some product. He claims people knew he was in a room before they even saw him, just from the smell.
Right, which, implies he was using a lot of it. But there's a real psychological concept here called the extended self.
What's that?
It's when a product becomes so deeply part of your identity that losing feels like losing a part of yourself, like a limb.
And that limb gets threatened. The whole thing kicks off with a simple mistake. He's at a big box store.
And he accidentally buys a huge wholesale pack of the wrong scent, Arctic Ice, instead of his Cool Wave.
That's the inciting incident right there.
Exactly. He uses Arctic Ice, and he describes this total disassociation. He said his personality was shifting, that he felt like a stranger.
Which sounds incredibly dramatic. But right as he's having this identity crisis, the company announces they're discontinuing Cool Wave for good.
The timing is just brutal.
But the numbers don't make sense. I'm looking at the report here. Cool Wave had 40% of the market share. It made hundreds of millions.
You'd think it was a supply chain issue, right? Or the cost of some key ingredient went up.
That's what I assumed.
But the internal memo is explicit. It wasn't costs, it wasn't supplies. The official reason was to streamline the workforce.
Streamline. So Bill is now facing a world without his signature scent. He starts hoarding it, but he knows that's not a long-term solution.
So he decides to fix the problem at the source. But he doesn't just, write an angry email.
Not even close. He goes full-on industrial espionage. He interviews for an entry-level job at the production plant.
And he's so methodical about it. He spends months just mapping security rotations, learning the layout. This isn't impulse. He's planning a siege.
Which brings us to the climax at corporate headquarters. It reads like a movie. He walks into the lobby in a trench coat.
Bypassing security he's already mapped out. And the weapon. It's not a gun.
It's a Black & Decker cordless drill.
A terrifying image. He bursts into the CEO's office, and the first thing he notices is this in-group versus out-group dynamic.
He smells the CEO.
Yes. And the CEO is wearing Arctic Ice.
Bill calls it a clash of day and night. For him, it's not just a different preference. It's a fundamental moral failing.
Totally. And what's interesting is he doesn't attack the man. He attacks the symbols of his power.
He takes the drill to the mahogany desks, the awards on the wall, the chairs. He's dismantling the world that took his scent away.
He said the sound of the drill was genuine relief, like drilling the anxiety out of his own head.
A kind of destructive catharsis.
Of course, security swarms in, he's arrested, and he gets a 5-year prison sentence.
But that is not where the story ends. Not at all. A year into his sentence, he gets a letter.
From the CEO.
And this is where it gets really, really dark.
The CEO confesses. He admits there was absolutely no financial reason to cancel Cool Wave.
So why did he?
He says he did it simply to pull the lever.
Just to see what would happen.
Exactly. Total executive nihilism. He had the power to alter the market, to affect thousands of people's lives, and he wanted to see what it felt like.
That is chilling. It just shatters the idea that the market is rational. Sometimes a product disappears because one guy on the top floor was bored.
It's a very stark look at the arbitrary nature of corporate power.
So where does that leave Bill now?
He's still serving his time, but the CEO is apparently so moved by Bill's voracious attempt that he arranged for Cool Wave to be sent to his prison cell.
Special shipments.
Yep. Bill claims it's the only thing keeping him sane.
But he has a new theory now, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's convinced that Arctic Ice contains a chemical additive that causes insanity and that it's what caused his breakdown.
A conspiracy theory.
It's a classic psychological defense. I mean, if he was poisoned by a product, he's not a violent criminal, right? He's a victim. He needs that to live with what he did.
Wow. It definitely adds a new layer of paranoia to the deodorant aisle, which I think leaves us with a provocative thought for you to take away.
Go on.
How many of your favorite things have vanished from the shelves, not because they failed, but just because someone in a high-rise office wanted to see what would happen if they pushed a button?
Something to mull over the next time you can't find your brand on the shelf?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.